Caleb, you sideways right now.
What? Maybe.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh yeah,
There we go.
White Nerdy, you should do that too. So you should do that too. So your camera's at a wide angle. Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Not bad. All right. Yo, what's good, everyone? We back for the second episode of the Panelists podcast, and we got a new member today. So I'm gonna turn the floor over to my boy Spidey and let him introduce himself.
What's good, everyone? Hope everyone's doing great. I'm Spidey. Spidey collects. Big Spider-Man fan. Probably tell from the background, but I've just got into comics in the past 2 months because this great community on TikTok has shown me a ton of great books to read, and it's been a great time. I love hip hop music. I just went to Summer Smash. That was a ton of fun, and I play hockey, so that's a little bit about me.
Hell yeah.
So you know how to throw those hands.
If I need to.
Hell yeah. Well, let's just move right into the read of the week. So for me, my reads of the week is pretty hard to pick, but Absolute Martian Manhunter issue 4, that shit was fucking gas. But I think for me, what I'm going with, Mr. Terrific issue 2, that whole scene with Spectre, catching Mr. Terrific trying to off himself on the bridge, and that whole conversation, that shit was amazing.
I gotta tap into Mr. Terrific, especially before that Superman movie comes out.
Yeah, I only read the first issue. I didn't get to the second one yet. It's on. I'm reading it today, but haven't read it yet. Same with Martian Manhunter 4. I didn't read that one yet either.
I forgot to add Mr. Terrific to my pull list after I picked up number 1 because I was slacking because there were a couple number 1s that I would pick up that weren't in my pulls, and then I'd forget to tell the LCS, like, yo, I rocked with those. So I gotta wait for the LCS to get my number 2 of that now.
That's so disappointing.
Damn.
But yeah, who wants to go next?
I'll go next. For me, news from the Fallout. This shit was so sick. I didn't really know what it was about. All I heard was zombies, but then I also saw Fallout, so I was like, okay, is it like a post-apocalyptic, like there's like a nuclear war and then zombies? But it turns out it was like a test site, like gone wrong kind of, and then it turned people into zombies. It's so sick. So it's either that or I really like Spider-Man and Wolverine a lot. I thought it was badass. I know some people with the lore of it don't really like it and think it's kind of dumb, which I get. But Spider-Man and Wolverine fighting is badass, so I loved it. And then I read a few trades this week, but these were my favorites. I'll just go over them real quick. Spider-Woman Volume 1. It was a ton of fun. I don't know if any of you guys have read this yet, but if you want to get into Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, this is really solid. It's a quick, 5 issues. Good stuff. And then...
Yeah, I got to get into Spider-Woman.
Dude, she's awesome.
I'm really liking the West Coast Avengers.
That's exactly what got me into it. And so I looked this one up. It was like $12 on Amazon. I don't know if you guys saw my video, but this came in beat. I was able to clean it up a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, annoying. And then Blackest Night Saga. I read this all yesterday. Oh my god, it's one of my favorite stories I think I've read so far, and I've really been getting into Green Lantern, so this was just perfect. I loved it a lot. So those are my reads of the week.
Caleb, you hear Tyrus? You hear him? Tap into the Jeff Johns run already.
It's pronounced Tyrus. White and nerdy.
Oh, my bad.
There you go.
I just got the Volume 1 omnibus delivered yesterday, so.
Nice. That'll be sick.
Oh, yeah.
No, valid polls, dude. News from the Fallout was great. The only thing I would complain about is that I read it too quickly because, there's not a lot of dialogue, but the artwork was really, really good.
So cool, yeah.
And I trust Chris Condon because I'm really liking Ultimate Wolverine. So
yeah, it's really good.
Valid. But I'll go next.
Oh, shit. Hell yeah, Caleb.
My bad. I'd say that mine, 2 reads of the week. Actually, I'd say 3. You already showed one of them, Absolute Martian #4. That was just really good, especially the struggle he kept having with his wife back and forth. I was like, damn, I hope this man gets through that. But I'd say my other 2, not Mr. Terrific #2, because I was a silly goose with that. But I got to reading Mr. Terrific #1, and that was gas. And then Predator versus Spider-Man #3.
That shit was good.
All right. It's surprisingly good. Like, I did not expect much for like a crossover between those kind of characters, and it's been great. Like the introduction with Craven, I think that's a great story arc.
Yeah, no, I agree.
yeah.
I thought one thing that was kind of dumb though was, I don't know if you guys know much Predator lore or like are into Predator, but he was piecing up those 3 Predators like they were just normal people. I mean, he was like, oh, they're a little bit harder, but like I feel like they should have been a little more difficult than like he was like fucking with them, and I don't know. I thought they were a little too weak than what they should have been.
In your eyes.
Yeah. But overall, I thought it was really solid. I gave it like a 4.5 on Comic Geeks, so I thought it was solid.
I've been really enjoying the whole race to who's gonna get their goal first.
Yeah.
I guess is the best way to say it. Like the Craven wanting to hunt the Skinner, the Predators wanting to get the Skinner, Spider-Man wanting to figure out what the hell's going on, and on top of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I haven't tapped into any of those crossovers. Deadpool and Wolverine just kind of killed me on any of those like Marvel crossovers. So I just been staying away from them.
I only read issue 1 of that one.
Yeah, so did I.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Or I think I read 2 issues, but I dropped it.
Issue 3, and then I just gave up on it.
Yeah.
Dude, they're dropping Deadpool's and Wolverine's story. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I've been on the fence about that one.
They saw how good that little murder montage in Deadpool and Wolverine did with the hundreds of Deadpools, and they're like, let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Spidey, what were your reads of the week?
Number 1, it's really tough between Absolute Wonder Woman and the newest issue of Ultimate Spider-Man. Wonder Woman's just so high just because, like, I finally tapped in. I finally was able to find issue 1. And I wasn't able to find issue 3, which sucks, but I did read it online, and I'm up to date to issue 4. And it's great. I think it's once people read other Absolute titles besides Batman, which is like probably the most popular, I'm sure people are just going to be blown away. Like, everyone loves Absolute Wonder Woman. I haven't heard much bad things about it.
That's my favorite one. That's my favorite Absolute title. It's so good.
Yeah, I could see it. But I think Ultimate Spider-Man 18 was a phenomenal issue. Kaketo was back on the interiors. It was the ending was set up crazy. So that's definitely my number 1 book on the shelves right now.
Bro, I'm excited for you to catch up on Absolute Wonder Woman because, like, the beginning's cool. Issue 5 and on is, like, actual peak.
Yeah.
Especially when they have the artist change and they start, like, really diving into the, like, Greek mythology and the Greek lore.
Yeah, that one issue with the changed art where it was just a different artist. I was like, that was some of the craziest art I've ever seen. It was so good.
That was the last issue of Wonder Woman that I'm caught up on. And that was gas.
You gotta catch up.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm glad I'm in good hands then.
Yeah, no, it's undisputably the best Absolute book. Like, there's just no question. And I don't understand, get on a little tangent real quick. I don't understand why, mainline Wonder Woman never includes, like, her mythology anymore. Like, she's always just Wonder Woman, but they never tap into the Greek stuff. And that's, like, low-key what makes her a cool character.
I haven't read any other Wonder Woman besides Absolute, which I know is terrible and I need to. I'll probably get, like, the compact comic of whatever story that was. But, yeah, I need to tap into some Wonder Woman.
I'm the same way.
Too. We've fallen into the pit, into the trap.
That's disappointing.
But
Yeah.
everyone says that she's the best version of Wonder Woman. Like even Blue Jack himself has been saying that, like that's how he wishes mainline Wonder Woman was.
It's because they're really going heavy into the lore, and they're going really heavy into the Greek part of her and the pantheons and all that shit. Like the only real character we ever really see her with is like Ares, but he's like so fucking overplayed at this point.
Yeah.
But let's move on. What new run are you guys looking forward to?
Ooh.
For me, it's either got to be that Chip Zdarsky Captain America run or the new Fantastic Four run. I've just finally got caught up on the Ryan North Fantastic Four run, which just ended. At that shit,
That was a good ending.
probably the best Marvel book on shelves.
Yeah.
And so I
solid.
got crazy high hopes for the new Fantastic Four run.
Okay.
Oh, I got
Nice.
one, a sleeper. Predator, Black, White, and Blood. That's gonna be badass. I don't know if you guys know who Arkham Unhinged is on TikTok, but me and him are homies, and he's been putting me and everyone else on the Predator and Alien stuff. And so the Black, White, and Blood stuff is already so cool, and the other runs of that kind of style. And so this is just gonna be like, it's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, I got the Black, White, and Blood for Moon Knight.
That would be
That's
so
just
sick.
big. And then I also got the what is it? Black, White, and Green for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles run.
Nice.
I don't know if anyone's tapped into that, but
I didn't even know that existed.
Is,
That's awesome.
it's a little confusing trying to figure out which turtle's which when they're not like holding their weapons or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But
once you get over that, it's pretty peak.
yeah. Yeah, but what you said though of your first two, you said Captain America and what else?
Fantastic Four.
And Fantastic Four, those were gonna be the ones I was gonna say too. So, but Black, White, and Blood, Predator, that's gonna be peak.
You already said what I was looking forward to saying too, the Chip Zdarsky Captain America run. But I'd say on top of that, I know you're a Batman hater, but I loved the animated movie that they did for him with Gotham by Gaslight. So I'm definitely interested to see what they're gonna do with that whole. I think it's called like Gotham by Gaslight, a league. I don't even know, but something they're about to do like the Gaslight League.
That should be sick.
Have y'all heard about the Justice League Red run that's coming out?
No. What is
I'm
that?
also really excited for that. It's got like Power Girl, Red Tornado, and a couple of other characters. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I need to look
But
this up.
it's basically like a JLA, but different, I guess.
Okay.
It looks pretty cool. The team comp looks pretty sick.
That does look sick. Look who's on there.
You got Simon Baz.
Yeah. That looks sick. Hell yeah.
I either gotta go with the Casey Jones comic that's coming out in September, or the new Black Cat run. I think that's starting next month.
That does
I'm
look
a
cool.
Black Cat guy. What can I say?
That does look
Of
cool.
course you want Black Cat.
I'm also picking up Black Cat.
Hell yeah.
I have to.
Yeah,
Ah,
that looks sick.
I got it added to the wall.
Facts, dude. That's awesome.
Yep. But there's been some big news in the movie and comic book world this past week.
Yes.
Y'all heard about the Batman 2 script?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
So happy.
I didn't think that shit was happening.
I know. I'm so happy.
So who do you guys want for the villain? What do you guys think the plot's going to be?
I think it should be Hush.
I've been wanting Hush since that little I think it was like a camera footage sequence in the first one where it kept flashing between like what happened with his parents and everything, and I saw the name like Thomas Elliott, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Yeah, I kept seeing that flash in that little montage, and that's where I was like, I want Hush.
I think they're gonna do it because he's the perfect like grounded villain for that universe. Because people are saying like Mr. Freeze, and I'm like, even though that'd be cool, I'm like he's too fantastical of a villain to be in that and for it to like feel natural. Like I feel like it'd be a weird shift from the first one with the Riddler. Excuse me, the Riddler, who was just like this crazy serial killer, and then we get this uh, guy who can like freeze people with a gun that he has. Like I think it would just be a little much.
Yeah, I've been hearing
That'd
a
be
lot
cool.
of people. Oh, sorry.
You can go ahead.
I was gonna say I've heard a lot of people want Court of Owls, but I think that they should save that for like the third one or something.
I heard
know if that would work.
a good point of like with Court of Owls is that they're resurrected assassins, right? And so they were already dead, and then they're resurrected. And so I forgot who it was. I wish I remembered, but they were like that. Oh, it was Cosmic Collector. I'm pretty sure. He was saying that he would rather that just they use that in the DCU, where they can be a little more fantastical. Even though Court of Owls isn't super like out there, it still would be like maybe a step too far. I don't know. Maybe it could work, or maybe they could just change it a tiny bit, like how they did with the Riddler. But that was just a point I heard I thought was valid.
I'd be pretty stoked if they didn't do it just like have like a one big bad in the movie, but they kind of made it like, you know, a year two thing where Batman is going up against like Professor Pig, and then he's also going up against like Dollmaker and like some of those like really dark underrated Batman villains
Yeah,
that he's
Like
got.
Zaz.
Yeah, like if it was like a bunch of those and not like just one big like thing.
Yeah, no, that'd be
I see
sick.
the vision. I see the vision.
Yeah.
No, I think the same thing that can be said about Court of the Owls could also be said about Hush. Just because, like, there's a lot of... I mean, they could obviously make their own Hush story, don't get me wrong. But, like, in the OG, there's just so much Batman continuity in that story. I think it'd be a little messy for the second movie.
Mm.
But I would like to see another Scarecrow outing. I think he deserves another shot. I think if he was a semi-grounded and they could get the hallucinogens working at a decent rate, I think they could cook something up.
I think that's a great pick. Yeah.
You know, Scarecrow would be sick as hell.
I also think Bane would be sick, just because of that whole. I think they came out and said it was adrenaline, but whatever he juiced himself up with when he
That was
got
Venom.
hit by that shotgun blast.
That was Venom for sure.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it was a little more fantastical so we could get like, you know, Grundy or Killer Croc or Clayface, even though we're getting Clayface and James Gunn's DCU. But I'm not
Batman and
trying to
Grundy.
live that long.
Do you guys think it's weird that they're doing Clayface as like the third movie to come out in the DCU? I thought I've always when they announced that, I was like, that's such an odd choice to have like at the beginning of your universe of like just a side villain. Like they're going Superman, Supergirl, Clayface. I thought it was weird.
Well, they did also announce the Batman Brave and the Bold movie.
Yeah.
But he's been sitting on giving us like any news, and I don't know if it's because he's like waiting for Superman to come out before he pumps out any more news. But I've been waiting since that announcement to find out who's playing our Robin, or at least who's playing our Batman.
Yeah, I don't think they're even started. Honestly, I think they're just like they know that they're gonna do that, and maybe they got some drafts of some scripts, or maybe there is a script, or they're doing some casting right now probably, but I think I'm pretty sure that one's gonna come out in like 2028 or like 2029, but then Clayface is probably gonna come out 2026, 2027. So
Yeah, the only thing that they gave us for the Batman movie was who his Robin was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Damien.
I'm just ready for the
Clayface
Swamp Thing
is
project.
What'd you say?
So I'm just ready for the Swamp Thing project. Like,
that would be cool.
you know, Supergirl's cool. Batman's cool. Clayface is cool. but Swamp Thing is the shit.
I've
And
heard
then
any Swamp Thing.
We'd be getting Constantine in that shit too.
That'd be fire.
And that would be, and probably Zatanna too.
I think they could definitely introduce those two.
Well, yeah, Constantine's first appearance was in Swamp Thing.
Oh,
For real?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. It's volume 3.
That was Constantine's first appearance ever?
Yep.
Damn. So he's like fairly newer. Like not new, because I was like, what, 20 plus years ago or whatever, but like.
Yeah, that run was in like 84 to.
Oh, it was in the
87.
80s?
Yep.
Damn, I didn't even know that. I thought that was like a little bit later. I need to tap into that. I've heard the Alan Moore run is like great, and I just haven't read any Swamp Thing, so I need to get that.
It's probably like a top 5 run of all time for me.
I've heard those stories just like tear you apart. Like they're super emotional, or I might be thinking about the wrong Swamp Thing story, but
yeah, they're pretty deep. It's a lot of like, like self-realization and like philosophical shit mixed with like a lot of body horror stuff.
gotcha.
That's sick.
Because like at the beginning of like volume 1, he's out here and he's pretending to like breathe and like have all these like he has like fake organs and shit because he thinks he's a human. And then like that whole first volume is him like realizing that he's just a plant that thinks he's Alec Holland, and he's not actually like a person. He's got to like cope and deal with that while also fighting some villains. Like even Etrigan shows up in Swamp Thing. He shows up in volume 1.
Okay.
Just to like, I don't know if it's a movie or if it's a TV show. I'm kind of hoping it's a TV show. That way they can really introduce a lot of characters.
Flesh the character out more.
Yeah.
Isn't there already a TV show out, like from like a decade or two ago?
I think it's animated.
Yeah. No, there's a live action. It's either a movie or it's a TV show, but it was like in the late 80s, early 90s, I want to say.
Oh.
They did a TV show for Swamp Thing back around like 2019 as well for the DC app.
Oh. I didn't know it was that recently.
Yeah, they didn't have like any confidence in it, so I'm pretty sure like after they aired episode 1, they already like announced that season 1 was going to be the end of it.
Damn. That is lame.
But that was also around the time that DC Studios just had no clue what they were doing. Like they were going around canceling Titans, kind of deserved though, and Doom Patrol. They were just like canceling all of their like television projects. They threw Batgirl in the trash.
Yeah,
That was fun.
I remember that.
No one
That was tragic.
Spidey, I got a question for you. You think we're ever getting into the Spider-Verse Part 2?
It's gonna be a while, dude. And like they've been having so many breaks, and like especially with Shameik Moore right now, I really think he's cooking the PR right now. Like I'm not even trying to be funny, but
They did come out like a month ago, and they gave an update the same day that they gave us the release date for the next live action Spider-Man movie. I'm pretty sure we're getting the next Into the Spider-Verse 2027.
Yep. Yeah, but if they delay that even more, I think it's cooked. And there's a lot riding on that movie. Like people say if that movie hits, it'll probably be like one of the greatest trilogies of all time. I don't know if that's
I agree.
reasonable to say.
Yeah.
But it's definitely up there.
Yeah. It's so good. If we have to wait more longer than we already have, if we have to wait longer than 2027, which is already too long, plus the last one came out in what, 2022 or 3? 3. So a 4-year wait already. But if we have to wait longer, I'm gonna jump out a window probably.
I mean, to slightly play devil's advocate, the first one came out 2018, and the sequel then came out 2023. So that's a 5-year wait right there.
That's true.
So 2027 is at least 4.
there was also COVID, and then there was like wasn't there a shutdown in Hollywood during that time?
Yeah, there
And
was
then-
the writer's strike.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 years ago there was the writer's strike, so they had to shut down productions on like every project. And they had just barely started filming the Deadpool 3 right when that happened too.
Oh.
It's just there's a lot riding on it, and I want them to take their time. Don't get me wrong, like take your time, make the best movie you can. But it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. I think I'm more excited for Brand New Day at this point, especially with John Bernthal getting added to the cast. I hope they do right by Tom Holland's character, 'cause I am not a fan of Homecoming or Far From Home. So
Do you like
This
do
might
you
be
like
a
No
hot
Way Home?
take, but those.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Do you like No Way Home?
You say you. Okay. I didn't know what you said at first.
I like No Way Home.
Okay, good. That movie
Yeah.
speak. Sorry,
Who do you
Caleb, go
guys
ahead.
want the villain to be for A Brand New Day?
I've heard so many different suggestions. Like I've heard so many people want Negative Man, but I mean, we already got a really nice Mr. Negative from the PS4 game, in my opinion.
True.
I just want Hobgoblin. Just give me Hobgoblin.
That would be
That would
so
be nice.
sick. Yeah.
But-
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Like,
Hey.
dude. Especially right after what we saw, how like Norman trashed his whole like psyche, and then Ned becomes Hobgoblin. Like, well, maybe it's not that exact Ned, but I think one of the greatest parts about Hobgoblin is that you don't know who it is half the time. So yeah, that's a great pick.
I
Either
heard-
that or like give me Scorpion.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
was just about to say.
Scorpion
Scorpion.
Didn't they tease him in the post
Homecoming.
credits for? Yeah,
Yeah,
do
Yeah.
something with that.
Exactly.
I agree.
But yeah, I really don't know what they're doing with Punisher being in the movie.
And
I don't
apparently
know what
Hulk's
his-
gonna be
I don't
in
know
it.
what his role is gonna be.
Yeah, I don't see how that's gonna really like, I guess, mesh together. Like we just got a movie where Spider-Man was about to off Green Goblin himself, but then Tobey Maguire stopped him, so he's already learned like killing's not the move because I just wanted to do it to the dude that did it to my aunt. So I don't really see how he's gonna rock with Punisher, who wants to always do that.
Yeah.
What if it's like Punisher versus Spider-Man movie?
But they're also saying it could be a Spider-Man versus Hulk movie. Like, have you guys been
Mark
hearing that?
Ruffalo's
So
already
it's like,
casted.
what is this movie even gonna be?
Mark Ruffalo's casted in the movie.
I thought he was rumored. I didn't know.
It's a rumor that it's gonna be like a Spider-Man versus Hulk movie, or at least that's how it's gonna be marketed. That was the rumor.
But are we getting Hulk or are we getting the stupid Professor Hulk thing?
If it's, I don't know.
If
how
it's
they-
Spider-Man versus Hulk,
Yeah,
I heard a theory, which I think it's a good theory, is that there's a villain who is trying to make the Hulk go back to how he was before, like in Age of Ultron, where he was like just goes crazy and like destroys the city, and so people are thinking that that's how they're gonna bring Hulk back to being cool instead of just Professor Hulk. Is they're gonna have a
Yeah.
villain
Hobgoblin, dude.
make him go crazy?
Hobgoblin's
Yeah.
gonna set that up. He's
That
gonna
would be
make
sick.
him go crazy. Back to the regular, and you'd have to team up with them. Probably team up with Punisher, maybe, because like maybe he's the only one he could find in New York. Probably just establishing the surrounding cities of New York that
Mhm.
they're all connected.
but like,
Um,
when's this taking place? Because Wilson Fisk just made vigilantes like outlawed.
Good point. Good point. I mean, we'll see. And then
I
this is
just-
also before Secret Wars.
I'd love to see if they could become more interconnected with everything. Like I saw a lot of jokes after Thunderbolts where everyone was like, "Oh man, Matt and Peter were probably really going through it in that void." Like it'd be cool if it could be like when you're reading a comic book where there's a random panel that a character just shows up in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also
we'll
need,
see.
speaking of the whole interconnected thing. Why have they just like not touched on the blip after Far From Home? Like,
It's like brief. It's so brief. Like they'll just say the blip in a sentence and it won't be touched on ever again.
They brought it back for Black Widow.
but no one saw Black Widow because it was ass.
It was in
I saw
WandaVision.
it.
They talked about it in WandaVision. But no,
Yeah, I mean, they
that was
talked
before
about
Far
it
From Home.
briefly in like all of those like early Phase 4 stuff, and then but they never like built on it.
Yeah.
It was just always kind of like a surface level thing that they addressed.
Maybe they just didn't know what to do with it after Far From Home, apparently.
Yeah, like I don't know, they could have made some like pretty cool things, but yeah. So let's move on. Are any of you guys reading Transformers?
I read the first volume.
Of course.
Same here.
Have you all heard the news about the new creative team jumping on for it?
Yes.
Oh,
And
dude,
now
I'm so excited.
everyone wants to read Transformers.
Yep.
They
We got
they
Dan
should have been
Mora
reading it from the
on
jump.
art. Dan Mora's low-key an upgrade. I'm not gonna lie.
I
And Robert
disagree.
Kirkman, I know he's gonna do justice to the franchise.
Yes.
100%.
I honestly think I prefer Danny Warren Johnson's art to Dan Mora, in all honesty. I think it's just a little more like stylistic and like has a little more of its own vibe to it, I guess.
I'm pretty sure DWJ was the writer. I don't think he was the artist, was he?
No, he does both, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did both, and yeah.
I could
But,
totally
you know.
understand that. Like, it did have a super great. That's kind of one of the standing out things about reading it. It definitely, our style did stand out with like it's kind of edgier a little bit. It's a little bit more like not as pristine and stylized. While Dan Mora is gonna bring like the great picture perfect art into these books. So it'll definitely be an interesting change of pace.
Yeah, I saw some of those panels and the cover art for issue 25, and I was like, okay, I know what time it is. Like,
I want
Daniel Warren Johnson, like his art was very like reminiscent of the 80s show. Like it really had like that kind of like grain to it. But Dan Mora just has like that like just like pristine look to everything that I think is going to I don't know, I think it's going to enhance the story a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's valid.
Man, but since we're on Transformers, I'm so pressed we're not getting a sequel to Transformers 1.
Dude,
I'm impressed that Michael Bay is back.
I'm not pressed.
He's trash.
Bro,
He's
you
bad
told me those
director.
movies were bad.
They're bad in terms of lore, but in terms of shutting your brain off and having a good time, they're great. People don't know how to do that these days.
The
They take
first one
everything
is
too
good.
damn seriously.
No, the first one's good. I haven't seen the other ones in a while, but I do remember them being not great. But I like the first one.
Dude, Dark of the Moon is one of my favorite movies. Like, it's a top 10 movie for me.
Top 10?
Crazy.
Bro, I don't watch movies to be like moved. I watch movies to be entertained. I don't give a
That's
damn
valid.
about
fine.
like how emotional it makes me.
My issue is growing up, Transformers 1, 2, and 3 were bangers, and then I got old enough to go and take myself to the movie theater, and all I could leave when I walked out of Age of Extinction and I walked out of The Last Night was, what the hell was that?
So you're not telling me Lockdown was probably the coldest villain in that Transformers unit?
So what I'm going to say about those movies is they had so much potential, but then they took that great potential and just turned it into nothing. So like didn't they show us the quintessons for literally like 5 seconds of The Last Night, and then they didn't touch on it for the entire movie?
Yeah, The Last Night's not a good movie, but Age of Extinction's a solid movie.
And that's
The
also
Dinobot, you can't say
I
that
grew up thinking
you were hyped.
I grew up thinking that Galvatron was the best iteration of Megatron ever, and then they easily fumbled that too. They just turned him into some little tech company, Sony, Japanese Sony or what? Sorry, I'm losing my fucking wording.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not good for like the actual lore. But if you're just trying to turn your brain off and be entertained by big ass robot fights, Michael Bay's the person to do that. Michael Bay's also the only person to make any money off of Transformers in the 21st century. Without Michael Bay, Transformers would be dead. Without Michael Bay, we wouldn't have the Transformers on right now.
That's true.
Michael Bay could be held at gunpoint. Sorry, Michael Bay could have his family held at gunpoint and be told to make an exquisite, pristine film, and he's still gonna shove a woman's ass in the film and a hot female lead and pointless combat. Because I want a good quality movie. I'm not paying.
Yeah.
You know what it's cost nowadays?
Bad bitches, explosions, big robot fights, hella action. That's a good movie.
That movie just screams hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a bro movie, Caleb.
No, Caleb, I'm on your side, but also I understand. I understand what you're saying, nerdy, but I need my movies to be a little more like take themselves seriously at least.
You don't like Bumblebee?
I'm not trying to watch every
Bumblebee's
movie.
alright.
It would be the same as like Gladiator.
Gladiator's
Like
peak.
Gladiator's a great movie. It's one of my favorites. But I can't just watch that more than like once a year. That's just just too draining for me.
That's valid.
That's true.
When was the last time you turned on one of Michael Bay's Transformers movies?
Like a month ago.
Which one?
Dark of the Moon.
Thank you. When was the last time you watched Age of Extinction?
Like a year and a half ago.
And back to like the actual topic of Transformers 1. Like Nerdy told me to watch that, and it was after watching that I went back to the Transformers Volume 1. I'm like, all right, things make a little bit more sense. I know a little bit more lore. That movie was funny as hell. Like, it was unsurprisingly funny. The cast was great. I don't know what Paramount's thinking.
It's such a tragedy.
It's because they fumbled the trailer so hard, and then no one went to see it.
Yep.
Was the trailer
And
not
what
good?
about
like a movie? People turned off their minds to it, which kind of sucks.
What about how successful Rise of the Beast was?
The movie sucks.
No.
I didn't even watch that.
That
I
movie's
did not watch
bad.
that.
How is that movie bad? That is actually lore, like at least better lore.
Well, just
Transformers
because it's
than Michael
accurate to the
Bay
lore
did.
does not mean it's good. That movie was on the lower end of the year. Just the entire year, it was on the lower end, in my opinion.
It's on the
Yeah,
lower end of the ranking too.
I went with
It's
my
not
homie
too
and I
low
was
in
hyped the whole
Bumblebee.
movie.
I mean, it's fun.
You're just tripping.
I mean, like, I liked all the designs of like that era, but like, I don't know, it just like didn't do anything.
Sorry, is it because it didn't have a director that shoved Megan Fox's ass in your face? Is that why it's the lowest in your ranking?
No, it's because it felt crazy rushed. Like, we get into the movie, and we start off with that like, you know, like flashback scene or whatever when all the Maximals are fleeing, and I don't like Scourge is not lore accurate at all. Like, he's one of Galvatron's people. He shouldn't even be in Beast Wars time. So like, there's that. But so then that happens, and then we jump to I think his name's Noah or whatever, and his brother. And so then we get all that, and then we immediately get into the fight at the museum. Like, that shit just immediately happens within like the first 30 minutes of the movie. And then Air Razor turns bad, and then there's a big fight.
And didn't Rise of the Beast like wasn't a part of that lore was that they've always been on Earth, or not always, but like for a long time. But then that completely just destroys what the first Transformers was that they came to Earth for the first time, like, and no Transformer has been there before, and so then it just completely negates, like, it contradicts each other. So it's like, are they even in the same continuity, or are they
it's
like?
definitely it's definitely not in the same continuity. That's why there was the GI Joe tease at the end. Like the GI Joe universe and the Transformer universe had always been separate things
Uh-huh.
when they both came out. When Michael Bay did his thing, and whoever directed those awful GI Joe movies did their thing. But now whoever directed Rise of the Beast was gonna try to make them their own thing.
Is that lore accurate, or were they just trying to do something?
Oh,
Wait,
Rise
like
of the
that-
Beast.
Yeah,
With, like, crossing
are
them over?
Transformers and GI Joe in the same universe, like in the comics or in whatever? Oh,
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
part of Energon universe, like Void Rivals, GI Joe, Transformers, and I'm pretty
okay,
sure
Okay.
I might look it up real quick. But the other day while I was working, I got a little like news on my phone that Robert Kirkman's trying to pitch a animated series of a Transformers and GI Joe crossover.
That would be sick, especially from Robert Kirkman. That'd be badass.
He got his hand on Transformers and was like, "We're making bank."
Yep.
He's I think he's just trying to ride off the success of Invincible, and I think it's working, dude. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Speaking of Invincible, Spidey, you texted me the other day about the Invincible comics. I heard you're not a fan of them. What's going on with that?
I didn't say I wasn't a fan. I just said I wasn't gonna pick up Compendium 1 because I heard there was a lot of lore stuff that wasn't like needed to it, and that's when the art isn't as great. But I don't remember crapping on them.
You gotta give the art. You gotta give the art. It's like, what am I trying to say? It's due process.
Yeah, and
you know,
it's
came
not
out,
bad.
Did it come out like 2003?
True.
Something like that. But the art is not bad. It's just that it's not like the newer art in the later comics. So it's like compared to that, yeah, it doesn't look as good. But it's like when I read it, I didn't know what the later comic art looked like, and so it didn't faze me at all. And then I found out that it would change. But no, I think it's my favorite comic run I've ever read. So I highly recommend that you grab the first compendium.
I
So it's
definitely
not-
gotta get those compendiums before I make an opinion. It's like I love the show. I've been saying like that third season, episode 8 is probably one of my favorite pieces of superhero media in a very long time. So yeah, definitely got to tap in.
Yeah.
So it's not confirmed. It's just a rumor, but it's rumored that Robert Kirkman has already sold. So not even pitched, but I guess like it's already like being in the works is the rumor. But yeah, the Transformers GI Joe cartoon, and that would be based off of the comics that have been going out by Skybound.
So it's already in the works.
It's rumored that he's already sold the idea. So he hasn't. So it's the rumor is not even that he's pitched it and is waiting on if like someone's gonna pick it up. It's rumored that it's already possibly gonna happen.
Please, and like we need that desperately. That would be so awesome.
Maybe
I
that's
think
why
we
they
just
canceled
need-
Transformers.
Maybe.
I think we just need to boycott Paramount until they give us Transformers 2.
Yeah,
I think that's just what we need to do.
that might be
Could
what
also
we have to
work.
do.
I mean, Paramount. I'm already boycotting Paramount because what they're doing to South Park. I don't know if y'all have heard about what's going on with that.
Mm-mm.
Crazy work, dude.
So Comedy Central made a deal with Paramount, so they sold South Park to Paramount, so it's only available on Paramount Plus. And Paramount decided, hey, we bought South Park because it's a great show, but we don't agree with the message of South Park, so we're just gonna ban literally half the episodes.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's terrible.
That's like
Yeah,
taking
like-
Family Guy episodes out.
Yeah.
like anything that has to do with religion, they're fucking booting. Even like the ones that just have like a couple of jokes in it, like the canceled episode where they like go to space and they find out that Earth's just a giant reality show. Like they're canceling that one for no reason.
So like
Yeah, I
the
think-
entire first 15 seasons are getting blacklisted or something like that. Like
Pretty much. There's some lists out there, and there's like 50 episodes that are just gone.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
So-
I think with that news and other things that I've seen, I think I'm gonna go back to physical collection of media just because the censorship that's going on is pretty crazy. Like, that's ridiculous. And then on top of that, I don't know why this would be censored, but a few months ago, like before I started doing Comic Talk, I found out that Amazon Prime took the Robin Hood movie that had Russell Crowe in it, and in the first like minute, it's just like this little scene of like, it looks like parchment paper, and then like font is coming up talking about how like I think it drops a quote when like there's no law, then like someone needs to stand up or something like that. And now if you try to watch it on Amazon Prime, that entire like stand up and rebel quote is just gone, and you're just looking at a blank parchment paper for a minute.
Weird.
They didn't even bother to fill anything in there.
No, they just censored out the words, so you can literally just stare at this blank CGI'd parchment paper for a minute now.
Hell no.
Since we're on the topic of movies, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the original Spaceballs, but we're
a
getting
long time ago.
Spaceballs.
Yes.
Dude, the trailer had me so fucking dead.
That trailer was throwing heat towards
I didn't even know they
everybody, and I
dropped the
loved
trailer.
it.
I'm gonna be so honest.
Have y'all seen?
Don't check that out when we get off.
Or wait, no. Was it just a teaser of where it was just the words?
Yeah.
Okay,
they were doing the Star Wars.
Okay,
font.
I
They
did
were
see
just
that
throwing
then. I did
shots
see
of
that.
Literally everyone.
Yeah, no, that was funny.
Have y'all seen
the
the
sequels?
Naked Gun?
Nah.
So you've seen the OG Naked Gun, White and Nerdy?
Yeah.
I used to love watching those movies with my parents. That was so funny. So I'm hyped for the Liam Neeson Naked Gun.
How old is
some
Liam
banger
Neeson now?
sequels.
He's gotta be like 75 at this point.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's
I'm
gotta
pretty
be
sure.
crazy old.
Let me look.
He's got to be around there.
Y'all have hype for Happy Gilmore 2?
Yes.
No.
Is that just me?
No.
I'm not.
Dude, they shouldn't.
Come
no.
on, dude.
These stupid legacy sequels of comedies from 20-something years ago. It's like, no, leave them alone. We don't need like sequels that are
The Dumb and
clear
Dumber
cash
2
grabs
was
that
pretty bad.
that are gonna. I am so positive it's gonna be bad. I'm so positive of it.
Like
But it's
going off
gonna
of
be
that.
entertaining.
What?
God damn it!
That's all that matters. If I'm
No.
laughing, I'm
No,
cool.
that is not all that matters. No.
I'm
with the
same way,
Happy
dude.
Gilmore movie, that's exactly all that matters. The plot is
Any-
that the first one. The plot is he's playing golf to save the house, and there's a dickhead that he has to go. And
The reason I'm not hyped for it
the plot.
is growing up when I was starting to watch all of Adam Sandler's beginning movies, like when he did can't remember what it's called now. The movie where it was the bedtime stories to his kids.
I think it was called Bedtime Stories.
Oh, that's just called cool.
Yeah.
And then like Happy Gilmore #1, his football comedy, just all of those were all
Oh
bangers.
yeah,
but
Waterboy.
then-
Waterboy's great.
Yeah, and then it's like everything else they kept coming out with was just bad. Like,
How do you feel about That's My Boy? You seen that one?
that's a
I've not
wild
seen it.
one.
That's a great
That-
movie. There's
That's
a lot of hidden bangers for Adam Sandler on Netflix. I could only see. I think me and Nerdy are the same. I could always enjoy an Adam Sandler movie. It does not matter. I literally just watched a new one the other day. It's like Chuck and Jerry. I pronounce you Chuck and Jerry or something. Yes, that was hilarious. I'm surprised that isn't getting blacklisted from Netflix anytime soon. There's some interesting stuff in there. but-
Have you guys seen The Ridiculous Six?
Yeah,
Yes.
Bad movie. That one's really bad.
funny movie though.
It's kind of funny. It did make me laugh a couple times, but the whole time I was like, "Holy shit, this is so bad." But that's what made it funny.
But that's what makes it good.
Yeah,
is
no,
because
yeah.
it's so bad.
I agree.
Like all those movies, like post Grown Ups, some comedies, at least those kind of comedies, they just don't come out anymore. Like I know I'm not Happy Gilmore. Dumb and Dumber 2, that was a cash grab. That was pretty ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see what they do with Happy Gilmore 2. I'm hyped for it still though.
And just
I
it
just
being a
think the
Netflix
movie-
film, makes me feel like it's just gonna be worse anyway. Like if it was a theatrical release, I'd have a little more hope. But since it's a Netflix film, it just makes it that much lower for me. Where I'm just like, I don't care. Plus, I just don't think it's gonna be good. Unfortunately, I wish it would be, but I don't think it will be.
That's valid. But I just need the movie industry to bring back movies like American Pie. Like,
Yeah.
if they just give us, like, that, like, super bad. Like, if they just give us, like, that genre of movie again.
There is a
Movie
really great
theaters
comedy
back.
that just came out. It's called Friendship. Have you guys heard of it?
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not even-
It's
I've
it's
heard
phenomenal. It's hilarious. Like I've never laughed harder in a theater. Like it's one of the funniest movies that's come out in the last like 5+ years. So I highly recommend that when it comes
Who's the two
out.
actors on it? I'm blanking right now.
What's that?
Like the two main actors.
It's
on it.
Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson.
I knew it was
Oh,
Tim
I'm-
Robinson.
I'm fucking there.
Yeah, it's
Tim
it's so
Robinson.
funny. It's great. So yeah, when that comes out
I
on
know
like
y'all
Amazon
know
or
that
whatever
Netflix
streaming,
show with Tim Robinson.
I that is why I started that show, is because I watched that movie and I was like, holy shit, this guy's so funny. And so I went back and watched like a few episodes of that. The movie is literally just a long ass episode of that show. Like so if you like that show, you're gonna love the movie. It's so funny.
Hell yeah.
I don't know.
Is there
I want-
anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
Oh, I have I guess announcement. I am gonna be in a like Spider-Man fan film. I'm playing Flash Thompson. So that should be fun. It's supposed to come out like mid next year. I just shot, or we filmed the scene. I'm also doing like cinematography, and I did a little bit of makeup on Peter. But yeah, my friend's directing it. He's been working on it for a few years. So yeah, gonna be in that probably coming out next year, some like middle of the year. So yeah.
Dope.
don't
Are there
don't
any
let it
story details you could give away?
don't let it get
Um,
Spider-Man noticed.
No, definitely not. And we're definitely not as terrible people as them. But story details. I guess I think I can say the villain. The villain's gonna be Doc Ock. So that'll be cool. But I think that's all I can say. I don't think he'd want me to give any
No,
more
that's
out.
cool.
But
Totally get it.
yeah,
That's sick though. Congrats, bro.
thank you.
That's dope.
Hell yeah. Well, if there's nothing else to talk about, I say we go ahead and wrap this shit up.
Yeah, we're 52 minutes in, so pretty good.
Hell yeah.
So
Well,
Sounds
sick.
good.
Yep, we about to wrap this shit up. Thank all y'all for, tuning in and staying this long. And we'll be back next week with some more guests and a different host. So, yeah, just stay tuned.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
I mean,